Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. Today, let us continue with the topic of Yoga Karakas and complete the next three Rashis. That is Tula Rashi, that is Libra, Vrischika Rashi, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, that is Dhanu Rashi. So, to find the Yoga Karakas, I had a very simple way of technique I use. I think you might have understood from the past two videos, but anyway, I will be telling this as anybody would be freshly watching this video. So what I would do is I would take the Kendra Lords. I would write it as a Kendra Lord with a four corner figure. So quadrants. So who are all the Kendra Lords for Libra? Keeping Libra as the ascendant. For the Libra ascendant only we are talking now. So the Kendra Lords are 1 Venus. The fourth one, that is the second one, that is Saturn. 1, 4, 7 and 10. The seventh Lord, Mars, and the 10th Lord, Moon. These are called as the Kendra Lords or quadrant Lords. Next, the Trikona Lords. Trikona are 5 and 9th houses, 5th and 9th houses. The first house is already been taken there, Shukra is there. The 5th is Saturn and the 9th is Mercury. The common lordship between the Kendras and the Trikonas, there is only one, that is Saturn. So this is the methodology. So I take the Kendra lords, I take the Trikona lords and see the common, and the common planet will be the best. So that means Saturn will give 100% Yoga Karaka results and alone can give Raja Yoga. So there are other combinations which actually give Raja Yogas, like you have the Venus and Mercury combination. We have Venus and Saturn combination, which gives rise to one of the strongest Dhana Yogas. And then we have Mercury and Mars combination. This gives rise to a beautiful yoga of marketing, finance, and many other things, which is an excellent yoga for this particular Rashi, because they can go into export, import, businesses, a lot of things, because it is the 7th and the 9th Lord. Very good combination. Then of course this combination we are not supposed to forget. This is the Dharma Karmadipati combination, because it's the 9th and the 10th Lord. Dharma Karmadipati combination. This is one of the strongest combinations for them to go into the highest of the studies, doing doctorates, research and so on. So if I consider a planet to be a total Yoga Karaka, it is Saturn. But these are all combinations which actually give rise to beautiful yogas for this particular Lagna. So let us go ahead and understand. For the next Lagna, that is Scorpio. Scorpio, if I take the first house as Scorpios, so that is the Kendra Lords would be Mars himself, the Lagnadipati. Then the 4th Lord, that is Saturn. 7th Lord, that is Venus. And the 10th Lord, that is Sun. Okay, so by going to the Trikona Lords, the 5th and the 9th houses, we have Jupiter and we have Jupiter, which is the Lord of Pisces, and Moon, which is the Lord of Karaka Rashi, that is Cancer. So here we do not have any single planet which is of common in this particular thing. So the combinations only will start giving us beautiful yogas. The 4th and the 5th Lord combination gives rise to very high educational aspirations, very good education. Then we have the 5th and the 7th Lord, which gives rise to romantic love marriages. 5th and 7th always, in every other case also it happens. The 5th and the 7th once again is Jupiter and Venus, which is also very good for higher education. This is called as the DwiGuru Yoga, because DwiGuru means two gurus. One is Jupiter, which is the Deva Guru, and one is Shukra, which is the Daitya Guru, so Rakshasa Guru. So both are the gurus. So then we have this combination of Jupiter and Sun, which gives rise to very good political ambitions. Here once again we have the 5th and the 10th Lord coming into play. So fantastic. So this is also one of the Lagnas wherein the Amavasya will still hold good. This combination is a dreaded combination. People are always afraid of this combination. This combination also still holds good because it is once again Dharma Karmadhipati Yoga. For this particular Lagna, it gives rise to a good combination. It should be placed well. Every yoga means when two things meet. Yoga, the meaning of yoga is when two things meet, or when two criteria meet and something happens. So the event happens. So here two things meet and a yoga happens. Even two things without anything, when I tell only Saturn, that also will give rise to yoga. When, for example, Saturn, not just like that, no, Saturn placed in the 4th house or Saturn placed in the 5th house, that is 5th house and Saturn. So that's a yoga. So we have multiple yogas here. You can do a lot of permutation combination here, but once again I am trying to tell you this, that interchanging or yoga between these planets, if it is not repeated here, would not be such a great thing for this Lagna. Why? Because these two are malefics for this Lagna, that is Saturn and Venus. So the yoga between Saturn and Venus is not such a great yoga for the Lagna. Why? Because they are natural malefics and also positional malefics for this Lagna, being the 3rd and the 12th lords. So let us go into the next Lagna to understand what are all the Yoga Karakas, what are the good planets for us. So the next Lagna is Sagittarius. The Lord of Sagittarius is Jupiter. So the Kendra lords are 1. Jupiter himself, 2. that is 4th Lord, that is Jupiter himself. I have told you these 4 corners are very deadly corners because they don't have much to do with Yoga Karakas. So the Trikona lords, the 5th house is Mars and the 9th house is Sun. There is nothing which repeats here, and only small yogas get formed here, very less. But still, when it forms to very strong yogas form here, because if the yoga between the Lagnadhipati and the 9th Lord forms, it is as good as Jupiter Sun yoga is as good as 1 plus 9 or 4 plus 9. So that is the 4th Lord and the 1st Lord. So Jupiter has dual lordships, and it will act in both the ways, like the 1st house and the 4th Lord. But because it is Mula Trikona, the Mula Trikona of Jupiter is falling in Sagittarius, it acts more like a 1st Lord. There are many other theories, like one small hint of how to find which particular lordship the Jupiter will be giving you more results of. Like for example, let us say, for example, Jupiter is posited here. I am just giving an example. So now whether it will be a stronger 4th Lord or a 1st Lord for this particular Lagna. So for this Lagna, it is a stronger first lord because it has traveled more distance from the first house. It has traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses. So it is more stronger first lord. And from this house, it has traveled only 3 houses. So we have to see it in that way. And if it is retro, because people keep asking me about retro. So if it is retro, then it is more strong a fourth lord, because retro you have to count reverse, and it is more stronger as a these concepts are having a lot of conflict in the normal way of in the astrological forums. So let us not go too confusing to confuse these things. Let us keep these concepts open, and we will do it with regard to our experience and our way of judging things. So the yoga in this particular thing, in this particular case, the yoga between these two and these two are going to be very good. Very rarely, when this yoga, that is Jupiter plus Mercury, falls in a trikona, when it falls in a trikona, that is either Jupiter and Mercury is posited in the 5th or the 9th, this particular yoga gives rise to high materialistic and very high lifestyle, very good Dhana yoga, and also very good education. So this is a very strong yoga when the 4 corners, all the 4 corners, the lords of the 4 corners are posited in Trikona sthanas. I'll be making another video on Kendradhipatis in Trikonas and Trikonadhipatis in Kendras. That would be another interesting video. We'll talk about it in the coming classes, and I think this is enough for today's class. So I'll be winding up here, and I'll be taking these 3 ascendants tomorrow. Thank you.